All right, I think I'm ready. All right, so I'm here today. What I wanted to talk to you about is diabetes. Where I want to start is a story. I was a camp counselor a couple years ago. I did it 2 summers, 2 weeks. Got a lot of community service hours, and I can't say it's a good story, but it's a story nonetheless. So imagine having campers, people you're looking after, and you run into a problem. Like I said, I'm talking about diabetes. The problem has to do with diabetes. Kid tested his blood sugar. We were out at an archery range, and blood sugars were low. The nurse decided to listen to what the kid was saying. Kid didn't want to eat glucose tabs, which is sugar. Didn't want to eat crackers. Didn't want to have any type of sugar. And the nurse decided that that was fine. Obviously, it's not. Things happen. Your blood sugars are low. You can pass out. You can have a lot of issues. Been diabetic myself for 16 years, since I was 6 years old. At the time, it'd be about 15. The kid, I think, was like 10. And, I knew he had to go. So I grabbed him. I started walking with him up to the medical center. And maybe a quarter, of the walk, we got into it, and he passed out. I ended up sticking him on my back just before that, and I felt his head hit my neck, and I instantly was, freaking out like, oh crap, what's gonna happen? Thank God I had another counselor with me. His name was Dan, and he ran ahead, took off sprinting as fast as he could to get to this medical center to help this kid. I switched him from my back to carrying him because I wanted to be as quick as I could. I kept going, made it a little more than halfway there, and the medical units, the people showed up, put the kid on the ground, and injected him. It was weird. I've never seen a true glucose injection. What it is they basically stuck him with an IV, didn't flinch, didn't move, didn't react at all. Really heartbreaking for me because I'm sitting there in my camper, and my mind is dying. And finally, when his eyes opened, it was real relieving, made me feel real good. Now, reason I want to talk about diabetes this month, it's Diabetes Awareness Month. I don't know if any of you know that, but it is, so I figured, good time to talk about it. There's 2 different types of diabetes. There's juvenile diabetes, and there's adult onset diabetes. My focus today is going to be on juvenile diabetes. It's type 1 is what they call it. That's what I have. It's where you're insulin dependent. Adult onset, you would take pills to kind of offset with your insulin, in order to help that out. Now, what's going to be discussed today is, I think I went too far. Uh-oh, they're out of order. Well, what I'm going to talk about is the pancreas, insulin, and management of, diabetes. I just put up there the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. They do a lot of work. They try to raise a lot of money in order to help cure this disease. Just figured I'd toss them up there while I had it. Now, the pancreas is responsible for creating insulin in your body. What insulin does is takes the glucose out of your sugars, or out of your blood, sugar out of your blood, and basically keeps you normal, keeps you from having a lot of problems going into what's called DKA. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Without proper function of the pancreas, you can have a lot of different problems that are permanent. There can be brain damage because of too much sugar in the blood. Your blood becomes acidic, which basically starts tearing apart nerves and things, which also I list as nerve damage and loss of tissue. A lot of diabetics in the past have lost their feet. Small cuts, big cuts, things like that. Your immune system's affected very highly, so you have to really take care of your feet, being that your feet are so low to the ground. It's not common that you're always looking at the cuts, taking care of them, maintaining, so it is possible to lose a limb. The eyes are the other thing that's really affected. High blood sugars. I know when I wake up in the morning, I know my blood sugars are high if I can't see straight. My vision gets very blurred, everything's kind of out of focus, and so they are real attentive of taking care of your eyes and things when you have diabetes. Now, I have an example of a blood glucose meter here. I'm going to pass it around. It's kind of got everything in it. It's a kit. It's the meter, test strips, insulin bottle. There's some needles in here. I kind of tethered those off, so don't open that up, as well as a Lancet device. The Lancet device does is pricks your finger, allows you to draw blood in order to test how high you are. That's that if you wanted to pass it around for me. They're real simple to use, real easy. Poke your finger, or I use my arms because your fingers got a lot of nerves in them. You don't want to damage them. It's fast, it's real intelligent because it helps you keep track of your sugars, allows you to know how much insulin to take, allows you to know where you're at and what you need to do. The Lancet device is kind of annoying because it's a small needle, makes you bleed, when you poke your fingers, sometimes it hurts, sometimes it squirts. It's, diabetes is kind of an interesting one. You can have fun with it or you can absolutely hate it. Depends on how you are with needles, I guess. Insulin, there's two different types. There's some that are made with human genes, some that's made with animal genes. And then there's also long-lasting and fast-acting. This one here would be a fast-acting insulin. What that does is reacts in about 15 minutes and lasts for 2 hours. Basically, if you're eating or you have a high blood sugar, that's what you're going to take. And then this one here would be a long-acting insulin, which lasts about 24 hours and just keeps a continuous flow of insulin in the body, being that the pancreas, after it shuts down, doesn't produce any anymore. This is basically what I just told you. With the fast-acting, like I said, meals, snacks, things like that, anything that would raise your blood sugars. It's kind of hard with needles because if you like to eat and snack like I do, then you're taking 1 million shots a day because you're always eating, and it makes it a little rough, but very helpful. Keeps you low, or not low, but normal, keeps you at a place where you're safe. Like I said, insulin helps control the blood sugars, and that's what you need. You need to maintain control. Average blood sugars range from 80 to about 140. Anything over 140 is considered a high blood sugar and is potentially dangerous. The higher it goes, the worse it gets. Insulin can be given in needles, pens, and pumps. By pens, I don't mean something you write with. Basically what it is it's shaped like a pen, it's filled with insulin. You get little disposable needles that you throw on there. Easy to put in the pocket, easy to carry around versus needles and a vial. A little bit harder to carry around in your pocket and use. And then pumps. Pumps are the last thing I'm going to talk about. They're very useful. Kids are getting them a lot more now, becoming more common. They've actually been around for a little over 30 years, but more common nowadays than they used to be. Needles kind of get in the way, like I said. People like to watch, people like to see what's going on. They always wonder, well, what's that guy doing, what's going on? Police, everybody, I mean, they see you doing anything with a needle and everybody's curious. It's very normal nature. So the pump allows a little bit of privacy. You can hide it, you can keep it more to yourself. I've got a little picture, I don't think anybody can really see it, but I also have an example to pass around. What this is an insulin pump. This one's a newer model. It sits straight and flush to the skin. That one there, it's a MiniMed one. What they use is tubing. So you have a long tube coming off of you with this thing, but yet again, it's still more discreet than needles. This one, all wireless, stick it on, not bigger than, a couple cents, 4 quarters in a row, it's about that big. This wirelessly is the meter, sends the blood sugars automatically, gives you the insulin, continuously giving you insulin. Kind of eliminates the need for that long lasting, allows you to only have the short acting, and then it's constantly pumping. It lasts for about 3 days before you have to inject a new one. Yeah, there's a needle involved, but it's one needle. Goes in, leaves a catheter, comes right out. It's all real nice. It's automatic in here. Some of them you have to manually put them in. This one's all automatic. Pass that around too. Yeah, diabetes is something that's not hard to live with, but if you don't maintain it, you can have a lot of problems. Insulin keeps diabetes because if you don't have it, you are going to die. You need it. It's part of your body. It's something that's naturally produced in your pancreas. And without it, many, many complications can arise. Diabetes typically is caused by something as either a child, in this case, mine, I had chickenpox, and it caused my immune system to kick on. Immune system didn't turn off when it was supposed to, thus attacked my pancreas because it was weaker, and I got diabetes. Usually inherited from the family. Can't catch it from me, can't get anything like that. It's nothing major, but it is a definite big part of my life. Grandparents, friends, family may have it someday, may have it now. Just figured I'd give you a little bit more knowledge about it, and I hope you learned something.